Guys, what is up? It's your boy Beast here. Welcome back to another Pokemon Black and White 2 Wi-Fi battle. Now, this match right here is against a guy from Smogon by the name of Eeveefan77, and as you can see, I've got this team preview back again with the burning fires in the background, so that looks pretty nice. Now, I'm looking at this guy's team, and I see right away he's got a rain-based team with Politoed and stuff, and the main threat that I notice on his team is, first of all, is Keldeo, because that thing might be Choice Scarf, and a Choice Scarf Keldeo can outspeed pretty much any average Choice Scarf user out there. Even my Choice Scarf Slacking, which does have a pretty good speed step, but still not fast enough to outspeed Keldeo. Now, he's also got a Jolteon to absorb those electric moves, I guess. He's also got that Politoed to just set up that rain. He's also got a Volcarona, which I find kind of weird. I guess it's just to counter those stun teams. He's also got a Wobbuffet just to lock stuff in there, and he's also got a Fortress to spin away rocks and stuff because his Volcarona is times for a weak to that. Now, my team is actually a pretty offensive team. It's a team that I recently made, and my Azelf is actually a dual screener because I really don't have that much defenses on my team. I'm gonna have to need at least some sort of defenses in order for this team to work. And it's also got Stealth Rock just to set up those entry hazards as well. Now, my Spiritomb is the same locking in Psychic type set, but it's really not going to be too useful because he's not got any Psychic types at all, so it's not going to really be too worth it. I guess he could block rapid spins from his Fortress, but really that's pretty much the only thing it's helpful for now. Magneton could be pretty useful against his Fortress if he does not have the Earthquakes. I'm going to have to be pretty careful when I'm playing around with it. And I've also got a Arcanine. It's my mixed Arcanine again, and I've also got this Choice Scarf Slacking right here, and he can just retaliate pretty much anything on his team. Maybe not his Keldeo because it might be able to outspeed me, but you know, I can just go for the retaliate and it will do pretty much a lot of damage to anything on his team. And I've also got this Abomasnow just to get rid of weather and stuff because hail is not really too common at all in OU, and I can just easily get rid of the weather with the snow warning ability that this thing has got. So yeah, let's just go ahead and start the battle, shall we? So my opponent is gonna lead with this Volcarona, as I'm gonna lead off with my Azelf. Now this is obviously a bad matchup for me because of that type advantage. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up the light screen the first turn because this guy most likely does have the Quiver Dance, and if he gets up like 1 or 2 Quiver Dances, then he can easily sweep me from that point, unless I can get some special defense from the light screen. That way I can easily take his special moves and easily intercept him. So gonna go to some Arcanine right here, thinking he's gonna go for a second Quiver Dance or maybe a Bug Buzz. He ends up going for the Bug Buzz. It gets a critical hit. Now that really sucks because a critical hit does hit through screens, and if he would have not got that crit right there, it would have done 4 times less. So that did really suck right there, but again, it's just a game. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set him a Slacking this turn because it's really the only option I have. I was hoping I would still outspeed it somehow, but I'm not. So I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake. Thankfully, he misses with the Fire Blast. I guess that kind of makes up for the fact that he critted me earlier. But again, I did have the light screen up, so I'm not quite sure how much that mattered. So it's gonna go into set on his Fortress. I was not quite sure if this thing had the Earthquake or not. I just wanted to scout if he had it, but it's gonna go to set up some screens with the Reflect. I was thinking he's not gonna set up a second layer because a lot of Azelfs do carry the Taunt. So I was predicting him to overpredict, or I was actually predicting him to predict my taunts, if that makes any sense. But gonna go to set a Magneton because I was thinking he's not gonna go for Earthquake on a Levitator, so I might as well just send this thing in there. Go for the Volt Switch instead of the Hidden Power Fire because first of all he's got full HP, so you know Sturdy is still activated. Second of all, he might have the Earthquake, so that's a little bit risky to, you know, just go for the Hidden Power Fire. And he's actually going to do the same. He's got a Volt Switch on my Slacking, and he's going to set on his Politoed, setting up the rain, which, I mean, that's not really too good at all. This Slacking doesn't really have any moves against this Politoed. I guess Retaliate could be useful if he knocks out one of my Pokemon, but he has not done that for now, at least. So gonna go ahead and send him President Obama and set up the Hail because I want to get rid of that rain, obviously. So he's gonna go ahead and send out his Wobbuffet. I thought that this thing would be a vulnerable lock-in for Wobbuffet because obviously you can just prevent me from switching out any time. But the thing is, this is actually a mixed Abomasnow, and that's gonna be very beneficial right here. I just go for the Blizzard, hit him in the face, He actually gets a freeze extra here. It's not gonna matter because he's gonna thaw it immediately, but he's gonna think I'm gonna go for a second wood hammer. It's not gonna work out because I do have the blizzard, which is a special move obviously, so I was like, okay, I can just go for another wood hammer, take it out of there, and his Wobbuffet is gone. So that's probably the most effective way to handle a Wobbuffet, because mixed attackers, you cannot predict what the opponent's gonna go for. So go for the Empire Fire on his fortress. He's not aware that I have it, so that was just an easy KO right there. I got rid of his Rapid Spinner, which is nice. And he's gets into Jolteon. I was thinking this guy's got the Empire Fire, but he goes for the Shadow Ball on my incoming Spiritomb. Now I was thinking this guy's probably not got the Empire Fire, but I really didn't want to conclude anything just yet. It was a little bit too early for that. So what I should have done right here is I should have just went for the Pursuit, because the Sucker Punch was way too obvious. So would have gotten a lot of damage with the Pursuit, but I made the misplay and went for the Sucker Punch instead, so that does kind of suck. But gonna go and send an Azelf. I did not think that this guy would have the Hypnosis, and he's gonna put my Azelf to sleep. I was hoping I'd get an early wake up, but unfortunately I'm not gonna do that, and he just scalds me away. I'm able to take one Scald, but I'm not gonna be able to take two of them because he obviously does have that rain boost. So he goes for his second Scald, and I'm pretty much out. I don't have any Stealth Rocks up, which does kind of suck because Stealth Rocks would have also been very, very useful in this battle right here, but unfortunately I was never able to set it up. So, gonna go into send President Obama again. I was thinking this guy's gonna switch out again. I did not want to lose my Source for Hail, because that way he can just easily, you know, set up his rain, but I did not want to lose my Abomasnow because the Enter has and stuff, so I was thinking I'm just gonna switch it out of there. I just want to save it for now, you know, and it's gonna go instead of just Keldeo. Now, this thing was pretty scary because I was thinking that this guy was Choice Scarfed all the time, but then I see the leftovers and I was like, yes, I can easily just retaliate this guy with Slacking. But then I started getting worried that he might have the Substitute, but fortunately he does not have it, or he does not go for it, which is really, really nice. Now, this Shadow Snake right here does quite a lot, considering, well, actually, it's now that I think about it, it's not resisted on his Keldeo, so that kind of makes sense. But it still does a pretty decent chunk, I guess. Now, I do die to the Hail right here, which is perfect because I'm gonna set on my Choice Scarf Slacking right here and just hit him in the face with a Retaliate, and his Keldeo is gone. His biggest threat and fear to my team, because that thing can outspeed everything. He can destroy everything. So that was really, really good right there. So he's gonna center on his Politoed. I think this is one of his last pokes actually, but I think he's got like 2 or 3 pokes. I'm not quite sure, but gonna go to set a Magneton, just his fodder pretty much. But he's gonna go for the Scald, and it's gonna do quite a lot of damage actually. I'm gonna be able to live it somehow miraculously. I'm not quite sure how that works, but go for the Flash Cannon because it was pretty obvious. He's gonna set it with Jolteon, no doubt about it, because the Thunderbolt is pretty obvious. So I'm just gonna go for the Choice Specs Boost Flash Cannon, and it does about half his Jolteon, which is pretty impressive considering it's resisted. So takes out my Magneton with the Shadow Ball. It kind of sucks, but again, this guy really wouldn't have served that much purpose either, because you know he's got a lot of pokes that can easily handle my Magneton anyway. So just gonna go ahead and send a Slacking, and after his Jolteon, he's only got 1 poke left, that being his Politoed, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to leave this thing in there and set an Abomasnow, hoping that I can OHKO it with the Wood Hammer, and if I can't, then it's his game. If I can, then it might actually be a tie, or I'm not quite sure, but it goes for the Protect, and I was like, okay, it's really not gonna matter. I'm just gonna hope to God that I'm gonna take it out of there with a Wood Hammer, and to my surprise, I actually do take it out of there. So that was a tie right there, because I'm gonna die to the Life Orb recoil and the recoil itself from the moves. So that was a very, very, very close game. Eeveefan77. This was an incredibly close and epic match. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Leave a like rating if you did, and I will see you guys later. Peace.